showtime. Welcome.
Yeah, you tuned in to DO Radio.
In the mix.
Play that loud, you already know.
Good evening, everybody. This is Political Paula back from my sickbed from last week. I hope you all missed me. I missed you guys so much. As you can hear right now, we have a new addition to our show. We actually have a studio artistic group, an independent group that's performing for us during our breaks tonight. So I hope you enjoy. Awesome job. Yes. Okay, guys, let's get right to it. Daddy or Dwayne hour. I know you'll all be so disappointed. So a lot of things have happened in 2 weeks, and something that came across my desk last week really annoyed me. Apparently, a 26-year-old woman had the first American uterus transplant, and it failed, and it was all over the news because this transplant failed. You know what made me the most angry is she's 26, and she is the mother of 3 beautiful, adopted, healthy young boys. Why this woman would want to risk her life in elective surgery just so she could experience a, quote, real pregnancy, make me wonder. It makes me wonder about the obsession people in this country have with pregnancy in general. And it's true. And I don't care if you're saying, oh, no, that's not true. It's true. I've experienced it myself. We have wasted now time, money, and energy researching how to transplant a uterus when there are millions of people right now who are waiting on the universal transplant list for kidneys, livers, all kinds of organs that also fail. I don't see people doing research for them. I also don't see those organs becoming available for them. And do you know what I have to say? Living without a uterus is not going to kill you. Period. So why we are even wasting the time and energy trying to do this is ridiculous. This is what adoption is for. We keep telling women, don't have an abortion. If you get pregnant and you don't want to have your baby and raise your baby, give your baby up for adoption. There are people out there who want to raise your baby. What is this big deal, this big obsession with gaining 50 pounds, getting hemorrhoids, being miserable for 9 months of your life, and giving birth to a child naturally? I don't understand it. And I'm going to say this. This pregnancy obsession is something a little bit stronger. It's also a pregnancy addiction, and that is a real medical, mentally ill issue. Psychiatrists have diagnosed it. Many women in this country are so obsessed with being pregnant for many reasons, one of which is because of the adulation that they receive when they're pregnant. It's all about them. Everybody goes out of their way to make them comfortable. Oh, you're having a baby. Oh, how lovely, how wonderful. And there's a deep underlying something missing in a person's life where they will risk their life to have a pregnancy. This woman who had the uterus transplant, they named her only as Lindsay. She is a mother. She's a mother to 3 healthy young boys. What is the big deal? Why would she go under anesthesia, which is very dangerous? Why would she put herself at risk to orphan these 3 adopted children? Why wasn't that enough for her? Why do women adopt dogs when they can't get pregnant, and the second they get pregnant, the dogs get kicked to the pound? What is it about women in our society that feel this need to be pregnant, and not just be a mother, to physically be pregnant? I would also like to ask a question for those of you who read my blog this week as I wrote about Lindsay's story and my opinion of it. And most of you who know me well know how I feel pregnancy. Never wanted to be pregnant, never wanted to adopt, never wanted to be a mother of a human child. That's my constitutionally protected right as an American woman, in my opinion. But I think there's something very important about this. Who is paying for these uterine transplants that are experimental in our country right now? Is it insurance companies? Because I have another story from the other end of the spectrum. I recently talked to a woman who, since she was a teenager, knew that because of her severe endometriosis that she would need to have children at a very young age, and the second she had one child would require a complete hysterectomy for medical purposes, because she has to have it. Anyone who suffers from endometriosis, it's a serious uterine condition. It means that every month you go through hell, and I mean hell, bedridden. Now, this woman did have a child, and do you know what now is she's being told? Insurance is not going to pay for her hysterectomy. But I bet they'll pay for in vitro fertilization for another woman. They'll pay for uterine implants. They'll pay for women to have a baby. But they are refusing to pay for a medically necessary operation so this woman can live a normal life. And they do it with everybody. Many insurance companies won't pay for a hysterectomy for any reason, and many doctors will refuse to do a hysterectomy on any woman under the age of 50 who has never had a child. Because what they tell women like myself is, you really don't mean you don't want a child. You're going to change your mind. Well, you know what? They told me that when I was 25 years old and almost died from an ectopic pregnancy. When I was on oxygen in the hospital, catheter coming out of me. 80 pounds is what I weighed after my bout with pregnancy. I knew I was never going to be pregnant again. And when the doctors told me I would change my mind, I had the privilege of spending the rest of my life, the next 20 years anyway, on prescription birth control. And I recently met up with the gynecologist who told me I would change my mind back in 1990. And I got to tell him, guess what? No babies. I changed my mind. What I had to do was pay out of pocket lots of money for birth control. I don't understand the obsession with pregnancy, but it's everywhere. It is. Look at this Zika virus, okay? AIDS is a virus, and it has infected and killed millions worldwide. We don't have a vaccine for AIDS. We never even talked about even researching a vaccine for AIDS because it only killed gay men. We didn't care. The Zika virus, however, oh, that one's different. The CDC has announced that by early summer, 5 months after Zika reared its ugly head in our country, we're going to have a vaccine. And Zika hasn't killed anybody. Zika doesn't kill the people it infects. It just makes them sick. What it does do is it causes birth defects in unborn fetuses. So see, we have a vaccine for that now. We got a vaccine for Zika. Think about that. Think about all the people who have died of cancer. And there's no vaccine for cancer. Kills children, but you can't cure the kids and not cure the adults it kills. So no vaccine, no cure for cancer. But we got a vaccine for something that affects unborn fetuses. So think about that when you think about this uterus transplant and how it became news, worldwide news. When people die every day from organ transplant failure, people whose names you're never going to know, because they weren't trying to do something cute and cuddly and something that society believes is something every woman should do, want to do, and in some political circles should even be for do. We don't have research for so many things that really kill all of us and affect all of us. But hey, woman wants a baby, wants to be pregnant, wants 9 months of that hell, which I call it hell. That's okay. We'll make sure she can have that. But God forbid someone gets lung cancer. There's no research for that. Do you know lung cancer is the least researched, financed research for any cancer? And do you know why? Because people who get lung cancer are told, your own damn fault, good for you, you smoked cigarettes, now you're going to die. Nobody cares about people who have lung cancer. And speaking of smoking, we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back and talk about the next thing that really pissed me off the last 2 weeks, and that is Bernie Sanders taking a question from a voter on what he's going to do about the big, bad, evil tobacco companies and stop all Americans from smoking those legal overtaxed cigarettes. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Baby, you're mine. But will you love me when I'm gone, baby? Baby, baby. Will you love me when I'm gone? And you can be mine, my time. Say you can be my treasure. And the dreams that I have yet to sleep on. Ooh, you keeping me. You can be my mind. Can from be waking up. Oh, baby, these no
It's my pleasure.
And dating my way, my walk, my pride, my love. And I was dedicated to you.
You're my bride, you're my baby, you're my lover, you're mine. Ooh, you're mine. I'm dedicated to you. Oh,
You.
I'm dedicated to you, you.
Got your name on a receipt, I believe. More to this awake, I go by all day. I
feel you, baby. I feel
on the ground, on the ground. Hey, hey, hey.
Now we're back. You'll have to excuse us. I'm not used to working with a live artistic group. Aren't they fabulous, guys? Please write in and comment and let us know how you're liking our studio band. I think it's so cool. With Dwayne's absence, I do have a guest host. Nadi is here. She's been here before. And she actually is coming in now. She just heard what we were talking about with the uterine transplant, and she had a few comments on that. And we also are going to put it out there to the listeners as well, for you who've had personal experience, we always want your comments. So if you have personal experience with any of these surgeries or issues with insurance companies, please, I always want to know about insurance company experiences. Please send your comments to me. You know how to find me. Facebook.com/politicalpaula, Twitter @politicalpaula, and of course you can subscribe to Divine Line DL Radio and make your comments right there under the show when it's posted and uploaded tomorrow. Go ahead, Nadi, you're on.
Hi, Paula. How are you?
I'm good, girl. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Back from New York.
I know. That was my undercover secret mission.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot.
You know, I was on my pirate ship mission right there.
Oh, there you go.
Okay. But, you brought up some interesting points tonight, and I had to clue in, excuse me, because actually, if you recall, some of the things you brought up tonight is what we talked about the last time we were on air remember? We talked about some of the abortion issues, women's rights issues, women's rights to our bodies, and more importantly, perspective coming from a woman, with all rights, over your body and how to care for your body, and if you want to bear a child or not, right? That's your right. For most women, and this is where some doctors come from with this, with most women, right, we have that innate, right, desire to give life. We are life bearers. Yes or no? Would you agree? You can't
Not
have
me. Not
outside of
not-
yourself.
Well, yes, because
Outside
I know,
of yourself.
yes, because I
As
know
a
many,
woman.
many women that do feel that they are not a real woman unless they have been pregnant and had children. You're right
Okay.
on that. Yes,
But
I'll agree with you on that.
overall-
I want to know why, though. Why
well,
is this
listen, overall-
still in society in 2016? Because I think there are women out there who want to do more and want to be more and don't want to have children, and yet for the way that we're raised and the way we look at society, for some reason, like myself, are made to feel ashamed. I have been called selfish. I've been called a child hater, which I'm not. I have been called all kinds of names for my decision and my fighting for women to walk into a doctor's office and say, at any age, I do not ever want to have children, and I want to make sure that you permanently, so I don't have to live on prescription drugs for 26, 25, 27 years. I want to be permanently sterilized. And a doctor saying, no, you aren't normal. You're going to change your mind. That, my dear friend, is not the doctor's right. It is my right to say, do it, and if I'll sign the paperwork, and if I do change my mind, it's my bad. I've made a lot of mistakes in my life that I can't change. But
well, fairly enough, doctors want to give women time to change their mind, to see if they would want to change their mind while they're still in childbearing years.
I said it to the doctor at 25. I said it to the same doctor when I was 30. I said it to a different doctor when I was 35. And I said it to Planned Parenthood when I was 40. Mm-hmm. And they all gave me the same answer. You don't have any children, and therefore we cannot permanently sterilize you. But why don't you let your husband go out and get a vasectomy? What? So my husband, a man, can walk into any doctor's office at any age and say, I don't ever want kids, doc. Let me just snip. Here's $900. And the doctor will say, there you go, because I know men who've done it. Men in their 30s, men in their 20s. Got vasectomies, can't have kids. Nobody questions a man who wants to be permanently sterilized.
Well, let me tell you this.
A woman, oh my God, you need psychiatric counseling, my dear. You need to change your mind. There's something wrong with you if you are a woman and you don't want to be pregnant.
All right, Paula. Paula, aside from your personal, right? But aside from your personal, though, would you agree that women are life bearers? You cannot have a society without the ability to reproduce life.
Some women are
no.
Okay,
you only have two. You only have two genders.
Yes,
you have male and female.
Women are able to bear life, produce life.
All right.
Should some women not produce life who have? Absolutely.
Okay, I can agree with you there. I can certainly agree there. But
every
overall,
woman should
women
not
are
be a life producer.
And here's what you might, maybe you know, maybe you don't know. Here's a little bit of knowledge here. There was a time where women, and anyone who is in the medical profession and know this truth and know this fact, please contact us, bear witness to either my veracity or my falsehood in this, okay? But women have the ability to produce and to reproduce both male and female, the egg and the sperm. She can produce a child on her own. And this happened in society before women and men mated. So women are life bearers overall. Men were an adaptation. And I think because of the difference in cultures and history, that Western history taught in their religion that, it's the male who is the seed, the whatever. But a woman can produce a child on her own.
I have never heard of that. So I would like to hear from
And here's the other
viewers
thing
on
with
that.
what you bring up. Your points are very, very valid, and there are reasons for it. See, right now in this, as we're talking, our global society is going through a depopulation phase where they want a certain amount of people in all countries, a total depopulation. All right. But on the other hand, they're fighting to repopulate another dying group. And we've talked about this before, but the Caucasian race is a depopulating race. So they need white women to be able to produce. They need because they are dying. The white race is dying off. That by 2025, and I have an insurance background, and this is estimated. This is actuarialized in insurance. That by 2025, the white population will be at the lowest population than all the other groups. So they need women to reproduce. Period. So maybe the laws, the medical establishment, the push for you to produce, where on the other hand, the women who are being sterilized, who are being treated with genetically modified drugs, the Zika virus, let me tell you what they're saying in Brazil. If you have news outside, if you watch news or if you pay attention outside your regular news channel, you will learn that the people in Brazil are saying that the Zika virus has always been around. It has never been what they're talking about today because it's not mosquitoes that are passing this Zika virus. It's the genetically made mechanical mosquitoes that Bill Gates has designed and put into the ecosystem there in Brazil that attacks these women and causing these deformities. Now, that is the news coming out of Brazil.
Okay, now I heard they were actually genetically modifying mosquitoes to go in and mate with the Zika-carrying mosquitoes and kill them off.
And if people think that this is absurd thinking, let's not go there.
Oh, it's not absurd at all. It's not.
In Florida, the University of Central Florida, they produce those bugs that eat the mosquitoes.
Yeah.
What are they called? They swarm around your car.
Oh,
Well, if you're from Florida, you know what I'm talking
yeah.
about. But that's what they were designed for. So that's what's really going on in Brazil. And Bill Gates has been behind it. And if you know Bill Gates sits on that committee that's all about depopulizing the world.
Yeah, well, in my opinion, Bill Gates spends too much of his money outside of our country.
No, he's spending a lot of it globally and in our country and for an agenda. And that agenda is to depopulate certain other races and certain groups while repopulating and populating a particular kind of another group. Because this is all about micro-techno-biological technology and building a race.
Wow. That's actually very interesting and definitely food for thought. So I would like all of the listeners out there, if you know about this and are interested in this, I certainly am going to be looking it up tomorrow. It sounds like there may be something else going on here in general. As far as the white race dying out, my issue with it is more a psychological issue, as far as I don't want young women that I know, young girls that I love, that are growing up and becoming adults, to feel that if for some medical reason they cannot get pregnant, that they are less than. And unfortunately, I think still in 2016, our society is continuing to make women feel that their main goal in life is to reproduce. And while some women may feel that, and I think that's great, I don't think we should be looking down on people like myself.
I agree with you.
Constantly been ostracized and
or
told I was
labelized.
abnormal in some way
Yeah.
for choosing my lifestyle.
Right.
And I've chosen my lifestyle, not necessarily, I didn't grow up feeling this way, but again, I did almost die from my first experience. And it's kind of like when you break your neck skiing and it takes you a year to get back to walking again, you probably aren't going to get back on skis. Well, it took me 2 years to recover completely from the ectopic pregnancy and the complications I had from the surgery. And so I did not feel like I really ever wanted to go through that again.
And you know what, Paul?
When
It's
you
a
have
shame,
one
though.
ectopic surgery, when you have one ectopic pregnancy, you have a 60% chance of having another one if you get pregnant again.
Well, it's a
So-
shame that you experienced that.
It
And
is.
I've known women who for their doctors have told them because of scarring, because of damage, that they could not have children. And as early as 17 years of age, I've known women who just could not carry, full term, and they kept losing children. And this isn't unfamiliar grounds. It's not unfamiliar territory. There are a lot of people, there are a lot of cultures who have, remedies for that, I say. And that I know to be true because in cases where I've known, there's being a woman and knowing that your role as a woman, whether you choose to accept it or not, is to be able to bear life. That means that you are more than just a woman. You're a bearer, you're a giver, you're a nurturer. And women who have a hard time, being able to carry children or to have a pregnancy, they thrive for that because it's innate. It's an innate value. It's in your DNA. It's what makes you a woman. Men go through that at some point. They
Well, then
do.
what do you
It
say
helps
to the
you know
point
that you're
when-
contributing to society.
But there is a real illness out there, and it's real, and it's
What
in
kind
my
of
blood.
illness?
It's called pregnancy addiction, and it is detrimental, and it is harming families. It is women who already have several healthy children. If you ever watch 19 and Counting about the Duggars, I believe Michelle Duggar suffers from this pregnancy addiction.
I think it's more money related, and
Well,
for every child,
I
you know what I
agree.
mean. It's like a welfare in a
and
certain
again,
kind
though,
of way.
look at our
The
society.
more children you
Nadi.
have, the more money you're going to make.
Look
that sounds
at
like
our
a welfare because
society,
someone's paying
Naughty.
for it.
Look at our society, Naughty. Again, these people are famous. They're rock stars for having children. Every time she got pregnant, they invited her onto the Today Show. We have an announcement.
There's your push
We're
right there. There's what I told you.
expecting.
Because they
They have a
need to
TV
increase the
show.
white race. They need to increase the white race population.
Well, the
and
Duggars
this is
are
the
do-
media. This is the media. This is the media's form of implanting that into your psychology, so that for where it hits your value, your entertainment, in your brain, it will program you to have that value. I must go have children. I must go have children. I must go have children.
Well, and then
If it's a
unfortunately,
trend-
some young people are watching these shows and saying, "Oh, if I have a lot of kids, look at Octomom and that disaster. She wanted a TV show like Kate plus 8, and
No,
she
she wanted
ended
money
up
at the
she
end.
ended up going on welfare because she got a bad doctor who impregnated her when he shouldn't have illegally, and she ended up with these children that she can't take care of. I think 2 of them are severely disabled." And she got prosecuted.
And you know what? Here's where
It's just, this is my point, though, is we as a society tune into these shows and look at what's happening with 19 and Counting now.
you know what I look at.
They lost their show because their one kid turned out to be a pedophile and a sex addict. And now the girls who grew up on the show, tonight is the first airing of Jill and Jessa season 2, counting on, because these children don't know how to make a living other than they're having babies now, one after the other, and they don't know how to make a living any other way than being on television talking about having babies.
You know
It's
what, Paula?
sad to me. That's all these women are doing on this show, is the women are getting married and being virgins on their wedding night and their Christian values and getting pregnant. And, they do live birth on TV and millions of people tune in. And then when someone like me comes along and says, you know what, you're not going to drop dead if you don't have a baby, and then someone says, oh my God, how can you say such a thing? I must have a baby. I was born to be a mother. That's why they make adoption.
But are
people.
these critics coming from like television critics based around these shows or these ideas or people who
These
think
are
that
people
way?
in my life telling me
because-
I'm abnormal and that I hate children and that I have no idea that it's perfectly fine to say I would rather die in childbirth than never experience pregnancy. What? Sorry. That's like saying I want to jump out of an airplane. And if I break my neck and die in the process, at least I experience jumping out of an airplane. I mean, we have to remember something. Women in this country, in America, still die in childbirth and from complications to childbirth. It's not all roses and fun and, oh, everybody loves me and they're going to give me their seat on the bus or the subway. Pregnancy is something in your body that wasn't there before. It needs a lot of care, and it does change your life forever. And I say this. Ask yourself not can I do it, but should I do it? And do I truly want to do it. And if your answer is no, then please do not do it just because you think you should or you need to. Again, because
But
of
isn't
what you
permanent
said. And I have-
sterilization kind of extreme, though?
Well, permanent sterilization
I
would be
mean,
a
really,
tubal ligation, not a hysterectomy, a tubal ligation, which can be reversed. But I think in certain circumstances, and look, Nadi, we could talk about this for another 2 hours because I have another story. It was in our local newspaper. A letter to the editor of a father who was furious. He and his wife went to the delivery room. They delivered their fourth child. And during the delivery, a lot of women, after they have several
want
children,
their
they
tubes
decide to
done.
have a tubal ligation.
Yeah.
The woman said, after I deliver the baby, I want a tubal ligation. The doctor said, no, you're only 32 years old. I see more children in your future. This husband looked this doctor in the eye and he said, you know what? You tie her tubes or I'm on the phone with WGAL and a lawyer. And the doctor tied her tubes. But again, she had 4 children. She said she was done. Where does this doctor come off saying, I get to decide when
Right.
you can no longer have, when you're
Right.
done having children? It's like the Catholic priests who say you can't use birth control.
In the
Just stop
meantime-
having sex.
In the meantime, they keep putting Planned Parenthood in black neighborhoods or minority neighborhoods to encourage women there not to have children. Or
Well,
to
I'm going to
abort-
tell you,
abort-
first of all,
abort.
Planned Parenthood, and I was a patient at Planned Parenthood on South Lime Street for 7 years. Not only did they never push me, I heard them discuss abortion. When I was on birth control, now I'm a white woman. I don't know how they talk to people of different colors, but I was actually told every year when I went for my annual exam that I should actually get off birth control. And if I didn't want kids, my husband should take care of it with a vasectomy because the birth control, because I was a smoker, and we are getting to smoking, I swear, and I know Chris and waiting and all my friends in New York on the smokers websites on Facebook that go for smokers' rights really want to hear the smoking segment. So we will get to that after the next break, I promise. But on this, one last word on this, gosh, I lost my train of thought. Planned Parenthood always tried to talk me out of using birth control because at my age and being a smoker, my birth control choice, which was Depo-Provera, actually could cause osteoporosis. I'm very small boned. And they were really looking out for me, but they wouldn't tie my tubes. They wouldn't do anything that would permanently sterilize me. And one last thing about vasectomies. I know a lot of people. Another funny story. Woman got married to a man who had children from a previous marriage, had a vasectomy. She gets pregnant with twins. He's like, it's not my kid. No way, it's my kid. You cheated on me. Guess what? It was his kid. His vasectomy didn't work.
Oh, my goodness.
So and I know that story happens over and over and over. Vasectomies are not
Yep.
100%. And in fact, in some cases, if the men don't do the follow-up, vasectomies are basically as non-good at preventing pregnancy as you might as well just use a condom.
Oh,
basically.
so getting
So
the
you
doctor
gotta
for child
be
support,
careful.
I see.
You gotta be really careful because now they're the parents of twins. So
So
what are you gonna do?
but you proved my point about the the repopulation of one group, versus the depopulation of another group. And Margaret Sanger's position on sterilizing women of color. That was what Planned Parenthood was founded on.
Well, I don't think anyone should be sterilized against their will. Not against their will.
And
I
so
think
it's,
the woman, if
they're
a patient comes
strategically
to a
placed-
doctor and says, I never want children, that option
And the
should be
standard of
open and
care-
it should be covered by medical insurance, which, by the way, because of Obamacare, another good thing with Obamacare is tubal ligation is now covered under every health insurance policy for the first time in our history.
Women's history.
And I think that is important. Now, whether you can find a doctor to do it, that's up to your doctor. People have told me find a different doctor. I stopped trying after 5 doctors who told me I was not going to get any kind of help from them to be permanently sterilized and get to go off birth control until I either went through menopause, which thankfully I did 2 years ago, woo, 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 we had a party, or had a child. After I had a child, they would sterilize me. So basically, I was told, you must have a kid, then we'll sterilize you. And I find that
No,
insulting.
I'm not getting sterilized.
Well, I
am
find
not
that
getting
insulting.
sterilized.
I find it insulting.
I first of all, I know because I am the original woman of the universe, and it is my honor, it is my duty to fulfill my role as a proud woman who I thank God, that I've been able to produce life.
Good for you.
I
mean, and
and
that's your
I don't
personal
take
choice.
that away. I don't take that away from anybody else because I remember going through, knowing that I didn't want to have children. I didn't want to have children. I came into my adult life feeling like I didn't want to have children. You know what I mean? I just didn't see it. And I know women who, for a long time, didn't want to have children. Waited until their 40s, where
Right,
by
a
the
lot
time
of
it
women
kicked
are waiting
in.
now.
Mostly
Mostly for financial reasons.
and also, they, because
And
when
no
you do have-
husband reasons.
well, so we all have our choices and we all have our timing,
Right, right.
And so I thank God when my time came and that desire, that biological clock kicked in, and I thank God that I was able to, even with the whole pregnancy, the first time for me was wonderful. By the time I got to the third, I'm like, I'm not doing this again.
Well, God bless you.
I could not get that. Ooh, the whole physical, thing,
right.
and you can't breathe,
Right.
and all that. So yeah, but but at the same time, it's an experience that only we as women have the luxury to have.
Well-
And that's a beauty. Whether you choose to accept it or not, is at the end of the day, it should be our individual right to decide.
Right.
Not a doctor's,
Right.
not a government,
And,
not a
yeah.
society, or no one else.
And that's the bottom
Unless
line.
it's in the detriment to yourself or to the society. Because listen to this. If women stop producing, what are you left with?
Well, first of all, that's not going to happen.
But-
It's
but-
kind of
but-
like
but
what Dwayne
we're-
says
if we go to a
sometimes is that
society
if
where
gays
it's
get
all
to marry,
homosexual-
if gays get to
Exactly.
marry, nobody's going to have kids anymore. Well, first of
Well,
all,
you got science and
everybody
technology
isn't
and
gay.
biomet.
Well, everybody is not going to turn gay just because gay people can get married. I'm not gay. Just because
But
I didn't turn gay the
imagine
day
if
that
women-
my
if-
gay
but-
family members got married. I'm not gay
You don't
now.
even have to be gay. What if women?
I'm
What if they just
heterosexual and I don't
sterilized?
want
What if they
kids?
just sterilized all the women and women weren't
Nobody's-
producing?
nobody's
But I'm just
talking
saying.
about
I'm just saying, putting it out there. What if there was?
I mean, there was
what
a
if,
book
with
written
the
about
Donald
that,
Trump
but that was
society?
fiction. Well,
with the
yeah, Donald Trump society. Well, please,
women
let's
are all
not go there.
sterilized.
Again, we're gonna need
what
a 2-hour
kind of
show.
society and what kind of future do we have? What
That's true.
kind of future?
Well,
what
and
do you have to
again,
look
we
forward
need
to?
the right. We need, and this isn't going to come off right either. But we need to end this topic to get onto the smoking
Okay.
topic. But yes, I think what your point is going to be very well taken by the listeners, because most of my listeners are parents, want to be parents, and feel the way you do. That it is such a beautiful thing, and it is. It probably is. I've never seen it that way for my own issues, my own reasons, and I have my own reasons.
But you're
All
still here.
I
You
want-
still have life, and you still have time, and
No,
you
well,
still
no,
have
I'm in the
experiences.
menopause, baby. I'm
Whether-
in the menopause.
No, it
Thank
doesn't
you.
even have to be
But what
you.
I can do is, instead of being a parent and reproducing, I can be an influence
Mm-hmm.
in a young girl's life. And there's a young girl I love very much, and she knows who she is, and her family knows who she is if they're listening tonight. I'm not going to say her name on the radio, but she knows how much I adore her. And I think by influencing other people's children without necessarily having all the responsibility, but just being a good friend to them, enjoying, and sure, I'm taking the easy way out. I'm enjoying the good times. I never changed I actually changed her diaper once, but I don't have the hardships, but I can be there and be a good influence. And that's what I think my goal is, because I do have a nurturing personality. I love my dog so much. We adopted 2 dogs. I love my dog more than life itself. She's like my baby. But for me to physically be pregnant is
See
just
that
not
woman's
for
need
me.
to nurture. That woman's need.
Well,
to
but
have
I
a
don't
baby.
need to nurture a human baby
But
that
no,
never goes
you
away.
You chose, but it's still there.
But
It's
the
that
point is a
innate thing to
choice,
be there.
and that's
Yeah.
all I'm saying. And I think the bottom line is, with the pregnancy addiction that I talk about on my blog, that you can read at, again, facebook.com/politicalpaula. My blog is up there. I think if there are women out there that are having babies for the wrong reason, and the children they already have are suffering in the interim. And that's something that we also need to address. But this has been such a great conversation. We're going to take a really quick break. We are going to come back, and for the rest of the show, I promise, Nadia and I both, I think, kind of agree on this next topic. We are going to talk about the outrageous discrimination against smokers. Only smokers, the only group in this country legally discriminated against by just about everybody. Stay tuned. We will be right back.
Yeah. Fly ass nigga. Woo. Just a young nigga started from the bottom. They don't wanna see me win, so I gotta. I was born 91 in the projects, and all I know is get rich or die trying. Wait, nigga, you fake nigga, I hate niggas that act. Stay out the studio, you know you can't rap. This ain't no diss, nigga, you know I'm speaking in facts. Tryna compete with me, there's a couple things that you lack. I don't need no bitch, dog, my chick ass so fat. She always on go, nigga, case a whole nigga wants crap. Tryna take my girl, nigga, and that'll get you jacked. Snatch off that chain, dog, then you can buy it back. Riding around cause I'm getting it. Yo, side of town cause I'm getting it. Top down cause I'm getting it. I'm hot now cause I'm getting it. I'll take it down cause I'm getting it. Better place now cause I'm getting it. Be safe now cause I'm getting it. Can't wait now cause I'm getting it. Just a young nigga flexing. Young nigga flexing, young nigga flexing, young nigga flexing. Young nigga flexing, young nigga flexing, young nigga flexing. Just a young nigga flexing, young nigga flexing, young nigga flexing. I'm just a young nigga flexing. Just a young nigga started from the bottom. They don't wanna see me win, so I gotta. I was born 91 in the projects, and all I know is get rich or die trying. I grind hard to shine hard, feed my dogs like that. You a knockoff if you pop off, you get popped on with this strap. You only pop dog if it's popcorn, you see a cop calling you rap. Claim you play in the field, nigga, you ain't never been in the trap. You niggas is hating for what? You niggas is hating, that sucks. I'm riding around, it's my side of town, you know I be living it up. Your bitch, she be down the fuck. I hit her in back of the truck. She mopping me off, I'm dropping the raw, then you be picking the up. Riding around cause I'm getting it. Yo, side of town cause I'm getting it. Top down cause I'm getting it. I'm hot now cause I'm getting it. I'll take it down cause I'm getting it. Better place now cause I'm getting it. Be safe now cause I'm getting it. Can't wait now cause I'm getting it. Just a young nigga flexing. Young nigga flexing, young nigga flexing, young nigga flexing. Young nigga flexing, young nigga flexing, young nigga flexing. Just a young nigga flexing, young nigga flexing, young nigga flexing. I'm just a young nigga flexing. Young nigga started from the bottom, They don't wanna see me win, so I gotta. I was born 91 in the projects. Oh yeah. All I know is get rich or die trying.
It's Rob McCoy and just the melody.
Hey girl, we met some time ago. You were talking to some dude, a real asshole. Yeah, but girl, I heard through the grapevine that you're single and you're ready to mingle. 'Cause I've been waiting for some time for a chance to get to know you. I got something in my mind that I'm excited to show you. Girl, I just wanna be the only one that you call on in the middle of the night. Girl, I wanna be that boyfriend. gotta do is pack those bags, hop on the plane, and we go. Your fantasies are your wildest dreams. I can make them come true right now. There ain't nothing I won't do to make it all come true. Just to prove to you that I'm only here for your love, girl. I just wanna be your only one. You can cry on my shoulder, for you, yeah, yeah. Boyfriend, 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 boyfriend. Girl, I wanna be a boyfriend, 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 yeah. Boyfriend, 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 yeah. Girl, I wanna be a, I wanna be a boyfriend.
And we're back. Now, everybody's been waiting for this segment. Most of you who know me personally know how I feel on this, but at a recent town hall meeting on CNN, a voter actually wasted his question to Bernie Sanders. You know, you get the chance to ask a candidate a question. He wasted it by saying, Mr. Sanders, what are you going to do about the evil tobacco industry? My father died of lung cancer. What are you going to do to stop people from smoking? Seriously? Seriously? With all the important things a president needs to think about, now voters want to run to the nanny government to stop people from using a legal overtaxed product? And let's make one thing very clear. No politician, no government, no state wants anyone to quit smoking. Because you know how many programs smokers pay for? Oh, please. Cigarette taxes pay for children to have health insurance whose parents don't have jobs and can't afford to pay for it like they should. The parents can afford to smoke cigarettes, of course, but they can't afford to provide health insurance for their children. See, smokers do that through our taxes. Smokers are the only group of people allowed to be charged in advance for illnesses we don't even have and may never get through insurance companies. Oh, Obamacare was all good. Oh, yeah. They're not going to be allowed to ask you about pre-existing conditions. They're not allowed to ask you what you weigh. But they're allowed to ask you if you use tobacco, and if you do, guess what happens? You pay 50% more in health insurance premiums than an obese person pays, because they're not allowed to charge the obese people. And let's talk about obesity.
That's not true.
Well, it's true in my house, because technically, and my husband's going to kick my ass for this one, but technically by the charts, now if you met my husband, you would know he is not obese, but by the numbers, he is. And yet he is charged much, much, much less, and the insurance company doesn't know what he weighs because they didn't ask. They're not allowed to ask you what you weigh. They're not allowed to ask you how many alcoholic beverages you drink. All those questions they used to ask before they accepted you, they're not allowed to ask anymore. But they are allowed to ask and to overcharge about tobacco use. Now, we pay the highest sin taxes, both state and federal, ever attached to a legal product in our country. Yet, obesity is actually kills more people than smoking-related illnesses do. Obesity also costs the healthcare industry more, and I'm going to tell you why. Yes, smoking probably does cause illness. But when a smoker gets lung cancer, they're dead. They're dead. You don't live with lung cancer for 20 or 30 years. But you do live with diabetes for 20 or 30 years. You do live with heart disease for 20, 30, 40 years. And you do live with high blood pressure and high cholesterol. And all of those illnesses are a direct causation from obesity, from overeating. And nobody is saying, let's put a $15 per burger tax on McDonald's. Nobody's saying, let's put a $10 tax on a bag of potato chips. Nobody is fighting obesity the way they criminalize smokers. Children.
But you can live with emphysema for a long time and the effects of that from smoking.
Well, that's true. But again,
and chronic breathing
COPD.
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 Yes.
But the bottom line is criminalizing smoking without also making other lifestyle issues, illnesses. The bottom line is, look, I say live and let live. Government tells me not to do something, and this is part of my comedy show. Government tells me not to do it, makes me want to do it more. Before the smoking ban everywhere, I smoked a pack a day. Since the smoking ban everywhere, I smoke 2 packs. Sometimes 2 packs, a pack and a half. Because when government says it's bad for me, makes me just want to keep on going. And I will tell you this too. Bernie Sanders said his answer to that voter was, I'm going to tax the hell out of cigarettes. Well, Obama did that too. And guess what really is hypocritical? Obama smokes cigarettes. So did First Lady Laura Bush, by the way, but her husband had the good sense not to touch federal tobacco taxes. He didn't mess with the tobacco industry. First month in office, President Obama, a smoker, trying to quit because Michelle wants me to, raised tobacco taxes federally. Our cigarettes are at the highest price they've ever been, and Bernie Sanders says, I'm going to make the taxes so high people won't be able to afford to smoke. Is he out of his mind? I mean, give me a break. People aren't going to stop smoking. They're going to stop eating.
Paula, how much do you pay for your cigarettes?
Oh, too much.
How much?
At least 76. About $300 to $400 a month. I buy 4 cartons a month.
Okay, that's how many packs a day?
That's probably a pack and a half a day.
And a pack is how much?
A pack is, I don't buy packs. I don't know. Something like 7 something. I know in New York they're like 12 something, 15 something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And you know what? Here's the thing, and I just said this. It's my prediction, but within the next 1 to 3 years, I believe that New York is going to be an all non-smoking state. Period.
I thought it already
was. It's not
was.
just the government. It's not just the government. It's the culture. It's the new culture in New York. It is so taboo to smoke cigarettes. It's like it's so uncivilized. It's so unsophisticated to smoke.
And isn't it funny how it used to be classy?
Well,
Audrey
now
Hepburn,
it isn't, especially
all the
because
stars would smoke with those big, long. It used to be so like
It
a
used
class
to be.
act. And that's because a loud group of people have criminalized it.
well, after they got done profiteering off of it, and then sickening a large majority of the population for generations to come, that they can continue to profit off of it. But people have waken up now, and they're conscious about their health and the importance of healthy living, which New York is really capitalized off of. Healthy living,
that good old Bloomberg,
healthy consciousness.
He doesn't
and
want
cigarettes
people
and death and
drinking
destruction
soda.
Doesn't come into that. Well, drinking soda is drinking poison.
I know that if I go to New York on vacation, I have to pack salt shakers in my purse because they don't allow. Is it true? I don't know if it's true or not. I haven't been there for a while, but Bloomberg wanted all the salt and salt shakers taken off the tables in restaurants. You know what? I'm paying $150, $200 for a meal in New York freaking city. I'm going to put some salt on it, so I'll be packing in my suitcase some salt
and pepper. I hear you.
Yeah, because no government official is going to tell me I can't put salt on my steak or my mashed potatoes. That's the other problem. Is again, we get these stupid statistics. these statistics. Oh, well, smoking this and smoking that. You know what? What about baby powder? Deodorant now. Naughty just
deodorant.
reminded me. Baby powder. All these things are coming out. If you use baby powder, you have a huge, and this isn't just a little thing, like, oh, if you use a cell phone, you might maybe in 50 years get brain cancer. This is serious stuff with this baby powder. Johnson & Johnson, we all put it on our baby's bottoms, diaper rash in certain spots. Well, don't do it. Causes ovarian cancer. Wine causes breast cancer. Milk causes breast cancer. You want to know something that's funny about these
Deodorant
statistics?
causes breast cancer.
You want to know what these studies are about? They take 100 people who have breast cancer, and they say, how many of you drink milk? And 70 raise their hand. Oh, my God, milk causes breast cancer.
Yes.
They take smokers and put them in a room. They don't ask, where do you live? Do you have radon? Did you go to school
With
and
lead
have
in it.
asbestos in your school, as I did? I had asbestos in my basement, which I actually still do. Don't tell anybody. I mean, seriously. Radon. My husband's aunt, 80 years old, got lung cancer. Never smoked, not one cigarette. Didn't live with a smoker. Was not exposed to secondhand smoke. She got lung cancer. They did a test in her house. She has been living in a house inundated with radon all of her adult life. That's what caused her lung cancer. So I'm going to say this. You want to ban cigarettes, but you better ban every other thing that causes cancer, and then let me know how y'all going to be living, because you're not going to be riding a bus, because bus fumes, exhaust fumes, cause cancer. You're not going to be flying in an airplane. You're not going to turn on your lights, because nuclear power is bad for you. You can't drink your water, your bottled water. Can't drink the tap water, because that's poison. Can't drink the bottled water, because the plastic bottles it comes in cause cancer. You can't fry up an omelet in a nonstick pan, because that causes cancer. Don't use your microwave, causes cancer. If you, and this is a challenge I have given on this show many times, I want one person to I want anybody. Send me one thing. Please, send me one thing that we use on a daily basis that does not cause some kind of risk to our health. One thing. Please. And please don't say lettuce, because remember that lettuce got all recalled because it had like E. coli and shit. So don't be saying that. Don't be telling me vegetables, because they, So again.
Can I give an answer?
Oh, you have an answer?
I have an
already?
answer.
Okay, what?
Say, ask the question again.
One thing that we use, one thing that causes no health risk to us at all.
Aren't you breathing?
Yeah, but
The
what kind of air
moment
am
you
I
stop,
breathing?
well, it doesn't matter. You breathe. Whether it's good air, bad air, you're still breathing and you're still alive to talk about it. The moment that breath stops, you're not using it anymore, then it causes a problem. But as long as you're breathing, and right now you're breathing in an air filled with smoke, filled with CO2, and you're still alive to talk about it, something you use every day, that doesn't cause a problem until you don't have it anymore.
Well, see, my point is, though, that air pollution does cause illnesses.
But you're breathing. You're producing. When you breathe, you produce your own air. You inhale CO2
Right,
and you reproduce it back out. So you're breathing. Whatever the atmosphere that you walk into, and what that environment is, whether it's good or bad, if you could walk through it, live through it, and walk away from it and complain about it later, your operation of breathing is still function and operational and is good. It didn't cause you no bad health, or you wouldn't be here.
Okay, well,
That's your one answer. It's
it
just one answer.
could be air, but again, I think in some parts of the country, or depending where you live, the air that you're breathing is probably like asthma victims when they're around a lot of pollen.
If you're still alive to talk about it, call us or type us,
Well, I'm talking
let
about
us
health
know.
issues. I said any health issues, and that includes asthma, allergies.
Now, breathing
lung
doesn't
products.
cause asthma. The environment causes
that's my point, though,
But
and
you're
that's
still
it's in the air.
breathing. You're still breathing without breath, and that's something you have to use every day. And as long as you're breathing, that's your operational, you're good.
Okay. Well, I actually want to hear too from all of the listeners out there. We really want your comments. So, all right, we've got air. As long as you don't drop dead when you're breathing it, it's healthy. You're okay. It doesn't cause a health issue the minute you're breathing it. That's actually a cool one. But okay, let's look at products. Let's look at something that you go to the store, you buy, and you give me one product that has never had an issue that it causes some sort of health risk. And that is what I'm talking about. These insurance companies are charging you for what they consider risky behavior. And I contend that just about anything you do on a daily basis is risky behavior. Now, I haven't been to the doctor for an ill visit in over, 35 years. Seriously. I don't get sick to the point where I need to go to the doctor. I don't cost my health insurance company anything. People I know that are much younger than myself have chronic illnesses. They're at the doctor all the time. I don't think it's fair to charge people in advance for illnesses they may never get, while people who end up getting illnesses don't get charged for it. I mean, 40-year-old people drop dead of heart attacks all the time, have strokes, get disabled, get in car accidents. Living is a risk. The day when you get up in the morning and you start your day, you are taking a risk that something can happen to you that will require medical attention. Insurance company's job is to pay for that, period. And I'm getting tired of all my adult life paying in advance, overpaying for health insurance that I've never used because I use a legal product. And I'll tell you this too. Smokers are not going to quit because the nanny government tells us to. The war on alcohol caused criminal activity to escalate in the 1920s. The mafia took over the production of alcohol because, again, the government told American citizens they weren't allowed to drink, and they said, screw you, nobody tells us what to do, and the mafia provided the alcohol, and there were alcohol wars. People died in order to get people their alcohol. The same thing is going to happen with cigarettes, with tobacco. If you try to outlaw it through the back door like they're doing, people are going to commit crimes to get cigarettes. And I'm going to tell you this, I don't lose any sleep at night worrying that a health insurance company might finally one day have to actually pay a medical bill for me, since I've been paying that medical bill over and over and over and over again for all these years. I've never filed a claim. And I've got a warning for you all before we leave for the evening. And this is serious because we talk a lot about Obamacare here and the nice things about it, no pre-existing conditions. Health insurance companies cannot give you those long questionnaires anymore. But they're trying to sneak it in through the back door, guys. And I wrote about this on Facebook. I hope you all read it. If you didn't, I'm telling you again. My husband and I, again, recently, because of the price increase on our last insurance policy, got a new health insurance policy. And again, they asked us a couple questions. Are you a tobacco user and how old are you? That's all they asked. Of course, we were accepted, paid our premium, got our cards. A couple weeks ago, we got a thing in the mail, and it's a questionnaire, like pages and pages, and it's all those questions that they're not allowed to ask before they accept you. Have you ever had surgery in the last 10 years? Have you ever had a sinus infection? How much do you drink? And on the letterhead it said, fill out this questionnaire so we can better serve you and provide you with the health care benefits you need. Well, first of all those questions, it's none of their business because their job isn't to provide me with health care. It is to pay the medical bills for the health care I seek out. My doctor needs to know the answers to those questions. My health insurance company, not so much. And I'll tell you why they sent it. And I'll tell you the little secret that you got to keep reading. At the bottom of all the questions, in parentheses, in really teeny print that 51-year-old menopausal women need their glasses to see. It said, filling out this form is optional. Now, if you got that far, of course you're going to be smart like my husband and I were. You put that bad boy in the shredder where it belongs, because your health insurance company doesn't need to know if you had gallbladder surgery 10 years ago, if you had a sinus infection in 1984, if you were on antibiotics in 1991. None of their business. But I'll tell you why they want to know. Because next year on your anniversary date, those rates are going to go up. And then they're going to pull out that questionnaire, and they're going to go through all the stuff they weren't allowed to ask you when they accepted you. And your new rates are going to reflect those answers. So be smart. Remember that your health insurance company is not allowed under any circumstances to ask you any kind of health history questions. So don't fill them out, shred them. And in fact, you should even call the health insurance company and tell them why you're not filling it out. That's my show for tonight. I want to thank everybody so much. Thank you, Naughty, for being here with me. You have made such good points. I know we're going to get a lot of comments.
Thank you for having me.
I
Thank
love
for letting
you,
me chime
baby.
in.
Mwah. And thanks to our in-studio artists. They're going to play us out. I will see you in 2 weeks. I have a pre-planned thing going on next week. But so remember, I won't be on next week, but I will see you in 2 weeks, and I'll let you know on Facebook all the details. Love you guys always. Stay informed, stay well, have a great night and a better tomorrow. Good night.
If my life was poem, I'd give it to you. I spoke to the one and only, and he told me everything is true. Yeah, you gotta leave left, but most importantly, you gotta look to her. And I don't know how many prophecies had to reteach these words to you. Ooh, this is all spook vision. Reality's a prison. Overcome the worst before the worst overcomes. We sit blindly behind all the faces, books, and lies, and all the trips against the instant lie too. Yeah, and there is no proof for listening to a heartbeats and pinches. Only one big kitchen in need of soup. We turn from the fight. You control your desires. Eat as smart as me that merely just don't do. Is it truth or not a lie? Is it talk or not a shine? Don't we have super high? Yes or no? I see. This is your decision. Only listen if you can. This is your soup kitchen. Might as well pick up a pan. These are our dishes. Only you can wipe the spot. If this world is a soup kitchen, well then maybe you should probably grab a pot. Oh, the shit is shifted. I'm the egg, yo, the yolk. I guess I always stay lifted, yo, the butt of the joke. Yes, I am gifted. No, you don't mean no punk. Only have one vision as the poison. Somebody tell him so, hey. Somebody tell him so. Somebody tell them sad. Let me step upon the scene and let us not forget to mention with the area of truth comes the hobbies and pinches. Listen to Mrs. Zach, you know Iraq is a pack is a problem. It is fast, old, hold this word is filled with tension. Right. I am not the problem, you are not the problem. The ones who are the problem, claim to solve them. Call them out is the phonies and don't deceiving every man and child and woman. It's about how they pull him. All their minds like fabric. A bunch of wizards using magic. I refuse to have it. Split it down the middle, right rabbit. Wizards using wines and potions. Talking about a person like they own them. Blowing up a nation, expecto patronum. Causing early plate shifts, expecto patronum. Letting drugs invade shit, expecto patronum. Emancipation rages, but no ones I've spoken. And the ones who do speak, suddenly they start choking. There's a poking around the neck if you never find a yoke. No, I don't mean to provoke. Boy, your words are joking. If you think that you're the laugher, you should probably let this sink in. I wouldn't be surprised. I woke up tomorrow unalive, helping you realize the heads in the clouds, but you never touch the skies and your stomach's not loud. But you can help you survive. And I choose to shake up and wake up. See, all this sleep is just to wake and bake away from waking up. And sleep's a Hail Mary, and Hail Buddha, and Hail Allah, and Hail you all. But while this population fails to perceive and stay according to the plan, we point fingers at each other like it's really one man. Somebody tell him I said, ooh, babe. Somebody tell him I said, ooh, babe. Somebody tell him I said,
Yo, you know Belza known to fuck around. Messing with chick, she was out of town, right? I was cool and getting my cake up. Make believe like Maybelline, she had to make up for what she said and what I did and what she heard. The vibe, it wasn't easy, I was going off hers. And when she came around, man, I swear she gave me the urge to purge on that ussy. As if she gave me the word to go in, flow in like a wrist cut, bloody like I'm fish guts on the hook. Take a look, I got Henny by the big cup, no ice in it. No chaser, no Sprite in it, straight up, got my weight up, no bullshit. I might not finish cause I'm faded off you. You 100% proof. I sat back and then thought about it like, damn girl, I love you.
somebody tell him I said, ooh, babe. Somebody tell him I said, ooh, babe. Somebody tell him I said, do that. Oh, babe. What's up? What's up?
I just wanna make love. I just want it all. I just want it all. I just want it all. I just want it all.
This is your soup kitchen, might as well pick up a pie, 'cause these are our dishes, only we can clean the spot.
Are you ready? It's showtime. Welcome.
Yeah, you tuned in to DO Radio.
In the mix.
Play that loud, you already know.